Hello, it's Angela, the inquisitive farm wife, and I'm back in the kitchen. I wanted for quite some time to make like a soup in the jar, but I wanted it to be easy to travel with, and sometimes glass is a little less friendly for when you're on the road, or maybe you want to ship something to a friend. So I thought, with all this freeze drying I've been doing, I've got these Mylar bags. So I'm gonna make soup in a sack. Stick with me. So I have my Mylar bag here. I'm going to try and use these handy little tools that I use for freezing. They kind of help hold things up. Well, these bags are gusseted at the bottom, and so they'll hold themselves up just fine. I'll show you. So see, and they'll stand up just fine, but they don't stay open as well. So I thought, well, I will use these to help me keep it open, so that when I put the ingredients in here, it'll be much easier. As you know, if you've been following me for any time, I am a dehydrator and an avid freeze dryer now. And I wanted to make a soup to share and just to have for camping or traveling on the road. This is something maybe we could even eat in a hotel. So I have freeze dried and dehydrated some stuff to make a cabbage ham with potato soup. I found a similar recipe. Okay, you know me, I tend to put my own twist on things, but I found a similar recipe with all these ingredients, and we're gonna go off of that, but you know, make it our own. First off, I'm gonna start off with the cabbage. I had taken that and sauteed it in butter, salt and pepper, and plenty of other delicious seasonings. Let's go ahead and put a cup of the cabbage in. You know, I think we could fill this a little bit fuller. Let's make it 2 cups. After all, it is supposed to be a cabbage soup. I do have some freeze-dried potatoes. And they're cubed, and they're perfect, and I would have thought they would have went great, but dirty little secret here. I did not blanch them before I froze them. And look, some of them are brown. Let's go ahead and get out my dehydrated potatoes. I was so excited about these. I think we'll go ahead and do 3/4 of a cup of these. Kind of shake it down. And I also want to add some onion. This is freeze dried. I like it a little bit better than the dehydrated, to be honest. I'm going to add 1/4 cup of that. And some ham. This is so exciting for me because I only have dehydrated meats for beef jerky. And so I really was excited to get the freeze dryer to be able to do meats. This was just done with my regular sealer. Let's see. We'll do 2/3 of a cup of this. Okay, it's looking pretty darn full. I don't know how much more I'm going to be able to put in here, but you have to add a little seasoning. This is, if you saw me, I did homemade parsley. That smells so good. I was gifted fresh parsley from one of my daughter's co-workers, who is just sweet as sugar. And I'm going to use some of this parsley to put in this soup. I'm gonna say probably a generous tablespoon in each bag. I'm not crunching it up. Thought it would look pretty to have whole parsley leaves in there. But if you end up with one of these, or if you make your own, crunch the leaves. It's your soup your way, right? And then I don't have any dehydrated or freeze-dried broth at this time. So we're going to go ahead and use the store-bought stuff. I know it's not as fabulous, but I'm going to stick 2 cubes because I think this is probably enough soup for 2 people. And when I make the directions for the bag, I'll have to make sure to tell them, take out the bouillon cubes and take out, this is, I'm not gonna do the oxygen absorber, desiccant packet. This is your silica. It will keep moisture out. Because I tell you what, you use the oxygen absorbers for the super long-term storage, but what really gets you with the freeze-dried stuff is the moisture. While I'm at it, grab myself another jar and put the rest of the ham in here. And I'm going to add one of these packets in there. And we'll get that sealed up. Now let's see if all these ingredients fit down in our bag. See if we can just squeeze it down. Of course, I didn't add any salt or pepper because I had already seasoned the cabbage really well. Potatoes are going to need a little salt, but because we use the store-bought blocks, you know, the cubes of broth, they're very salty. So I decided I'm not going to add any, and we'll just let the individual add salt and pepper or other seasonings to taste. Looky here, folks. We got one. Ooh, barely. So I'm going to get it to shut. Excellent. Yeah, this will easily feed 2 people, probably more. So now, before any more moisture gets in these jars, let's go ahead and seal them. I'm just using my food saver with a jar attachment, vacuum and seal. Looky there. It's sealed. Sometimes the regular mouth jars give you a little bit of a tough time. Trick is, if you turn another lid upside down and then seal it, sometimes that works. Sometimes it just doesn't seal. Seems like the older jars don't like to be vacuum sealed, but the newer ones do much better. So now let's go ahead and seal up these bags. I'm just using the sealer that came with my Harvest Right. And it's as quick and simple as that. Now, if you've wondered about having a Harvest Right freeze dryer and what it means, I have a whole playlist of the things that I've done so far. But beyond that, down below, I'll have a link for you so that you can go check out the company. And if you choose to happen to make a purchase, that'll help out my little farm at no cost to you. And yes, you can still get it on sale and still help me. Now, let's go upstairs and make some labels. Okay, here it comes. Here it is. Okay. Not super fancy. It's kind of hard to make it fancy on a Mylar bag. But I think this will work. Yeah. So here it is, all finished. Our soup in a sack. All bagged up and ready to go. Dehydrated potatoes and parsley, freeze-dried ham, sauteed and seasoned cabbage, and onions. Unfortunately, it was the store-bought broth, but you stay tuned. I'm hoping to make my own soon. All you have to do is open the bag, find that silica packet. Do not leave that in there. Toss it. It's bad. Don't ingest that, whatever you do. But we need it to keep that moisture out, to keep things fresh. Open up, there's 2 of the bouillon cubes. Open those up and shove them back in. And then you add 3 to 4 cups of hot, super boiling water and let that all rehydrate until it becomes fork tender. You want those potatoes soft. Now, if you would prefer not to do this, if you're not camping, you're not out on the go, and you just want to do it on the stove top, that's perfectly fine. Just dump everything in a pot on the stove, have the boiling water ready, dump it in there, and let it just rehydrate. Now, my family doesn't like a very soupy soup. And so, you may choose to add an additional amount of broth to this. You can either use it to stretch it out and feed more people, or maybe you just really enjoy that broth that has that flavor. So you can put it on the stove and let it all come up and make sure it's good and nice and warm and hot. Maybe serve it with some bread or crackers. Whatever you do, enjoy. Thank you so much for coming along, and thanks for participating in all these collaborations that I've been in. I sure do enjoy all of you. And if you enjoy coming here, please let me know by giving me that thumbs up, like it, subscribe to my channel, and share my videos. That's the best way that you can help me grow. Thanks so much, guys. Until next time, bye-bye.